Hey guys, welcome back to another episode. I'm your girl Kiva.
And I'm your boy Adriel.
And if you're new to our channel, please click that subscribe button. It takes 2 seconds. And for all of our viewers, new and old alike, please go ahead and click that like button because it helps push videos like this out. And April is Sexual Assault Awareness Month. And so we thought it was fitting for us to discuss sexual assault in the church. Now, another topic that we don't talk about enough, and I feel as though it's time to speak up. If we see evil, call it out.
Call it out.
Right.
So let's just dive right into it.
So, in church, a lot of times everyone's all happy and friendly, which is good. Church is supposed to be like a safe haven, but it's still a place for sick people. There's still people with different struggles that are going on. So we still have to be aware, and so many things have happened within the church because of the fact that we naively at times think that it's safe, everything's okay. But that's definitely not the case.
A lot of time we have unsafe sanctuary. Essentially, like you said, a sanctuary is supposed to be a safe haven.
Yeah.
But there's so many predators. Unfortunately, there's so many predators within those four walls that it doesn't feel safe. And it's something that bothers me.
My question to Kiva is have you ever experienced anything like that? Within the church, even outside the church. Has that affected you in any way?
Most definitely. On more than one occasion. I could remember vividly when I was younger in the church I attended. I'm not going to call anyone's names, but whoever the cap fit, let them wear it. I remember passing, the choir was going up to sing, and they were in the back, and I was passing to use the bathroom. I passed some folks, and this happened to be my then boyfriend, his family. So I was just, good morning, blah, blah, blah. And his uncle just smacked me on my bum.
Mad.
And I was just like, what the heck?
Yeah.
I was shocked. And if anyone know my mom doesn't think twice in defending her cubs. And because it was my ex, his family, his uncle, I said, okay, I'll just tell him. And of course he didn't do anything. He kind of laughed it off.
What?
That's a story for a different day. My boy laughed it off. So I was like, in my mind, I said, okay, am I overreacting? I don't want my mom to get involved because if my mommy get involved, then think about the shut.
It's going off.
She don't hesitate. Like she said, if she was in church, she said she would have given him a holy slap. It don't matter where she is, she will pop off when it comes to her kids. And there was another situation where this guy, they used to call him the Candy Man, same church. And the thing is, the adults were aware of this predatory behavior, not just from the guy who I just said, but from this other man, the Candy Man. He would always have a pocket full of candy. And he would come to church and give the girls the candy. And I kid you not, there's this thing, I don't know, it's old school where, if you take something, if you shake a person's hand and they basically go like this in your hand, that means I want to sleep with you. I got candy and my boy went I told my mom once, she didn't hesitate to deal with that situation. And I avoided that man for the longest while because I was aware of what his intentions were.
Right, right.
And like I said, what's more disappointing? The adults were aware of this. They were aware that, oh, he would stay outside, look at the girls.
No,
And
no.
then a lot of times we blame the victim, sorry. We shame them to say, oh, it was what you was wearing, or
Yeah,
it's
what you
because you
doing.
shapely. I could be butt naked walking in church. That gives you no right to touch me.
Yeah, no.
That, like, don't blame the other person for your actions.
Yeah.
If this is my body and how I choose to dress is how I choose to dress. But at the end of the day, like, I know people say, like, whatever you dress is what you attract. But you still supposed to have self-control on your end.
Yeah.
You can't just go touching people because you feel like that's okay. And that's a rape culture that we need to just... It's a rape culture because you
Yeah.
feel as a man that you are entitled. And as men, other men know and say nothing.
Yeah.
In church. And I feel as though that's because church are basically ran by men.
It's predominantly men who do the assaults, and it's mostly women who are the victims.
Yes.
Of course, some men get assaulted. You know, we're not saying that they don't, but a lot of the times, especially in church, it's mostly women who are victimized, and no one speaks up about it. And I do think that a lot of the times leaders know, but leaders by not saying anything, is complicit. Like, you're just saying that it's okay as long as I don't see, or as long as I didn't hear. No, it's not okay.
No.
And I think if more leaders spoke up about it, and sometimes it's some of the leaders who are involved. Let me not forget, yeah, who are involved.
Because I remember, I can't remember which actress it was. She was in a bus with her pastor, and her pastor molested her.
Jeez.
You understand what I'm saying? So it's like, it's supposed to be a safe place. These are supposed to be men of God.
Yeah.
And you have them doing these things. And like, I'm not putting them on a pedestal, but when you take up a certain title, when you consciously take up a title, it's like you are God's now manservant.
Yeah.
You don't go around doing stuff like that. If you can't handle that position, then step down.
Yeah, step down.
Step down. If you see evil, I believe it's our duty to speak up on it.
Yeah.
And it's like the same thing of us basically getting upset if we see someone getting in a fight or even getting killed and no one stepping in to help. If someone was to speak out and say, hey, this is wrong, you know, at least you would have known that you didn't cower behind the situation. And you stood up and tried to help this individual. Imagine how many people would still be in the church if they didn't get assaulted.
Yeah.
You know how many people just could be saved by speaking out, calling people out?
Yeah, just
Like,
calling it what it is.
And I about to say this for all my SDA folks. People quick to call out when people wearing a little earring or a short skirt, or if their hair braid, all these ridiculous traditions that people quick to call people out on.
Yeah.
But when it's something like, oh, you see how he hugging her? Or, you know, or you see he just groped her? You don't want to speak up on that.
Yeah, I know some leaders do call it out, and, you know, we respect those leaders, but more people, what we're getting at is more people need to call it out. And yes, there is a price. You might not be on the board, you might not be an elder, or whatever you're trying to, whatever position you're trying to get in the church, but that's nothing compared to what you're doing. You're helping someone, you're preventing someone from being possibly molested, possibly, you know, assaulted in the future. If you call it out there and then, you know, there's ways to go about it. So what we're saying is you must call it out, like call it out. I remember we listened to a sermon last week about John the Baptist. He called out Herod for being with his brother's sister. He called it out, you know what I mean? And what was the cost? He got beheaded.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's sometimes, you know, it's that deep.
Yeah.
There is a cost for calling it out, but at the end of the day, God holds the keys of life in his hands. So
Yeah.
that's just what it is.
And I feel like a lot of people think that being a Christian or active Christian is going door to door knocking and saying, hey, do you know that blah, 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 blah? Do you know that you should eat carrots and you should not eat chicken and all this stuff? Being an active Christian is speaking up and helping people when they are in need. And I think it's all based on your passion.
Yeah.
Some people don't hesitate to protest about Black lives or protest even now about wearing masks.
Yeah.
You know, people protest based on what they believe. They stand up for what they believe. So if you could protest about people eating veggie links or speak up about people eating veggie links, why not speak up and speak out about sexual assault that's happening in our churches?
Yeah.
There are so many predators, like I can't express. I spoken to a friend last week and she said, oh yeah, this guy was always touching in church, always quick to give us a hug. And it wasn't a church hug from the side.
Yeah.
He also not hug you from the front. And my mom also taught me that when I'm growing up. She said, if a man wants to give you a hug, you always hug them from the side.
Right.
Because there's been cases also in the past when they try to hug me from the front. And my mom was like, nope. Because she already knew how these men, how they behave. And for people who have been in situations where they may have been sexually assaulted in church, it's never too late to speak up. I don't believe in that sentiment people ignorantly say, oh, why did they wait this long?
Right.
There's some things that I still have not spoken about my trauma because of fear. So unless you've been there,
for real.
like we need to have empathy. That's one thing we lack is empathy. If someone went through something, don't ask why they wait so long. Say, thank you for trusting me with this information and how can I help you?
That's it. Yeah.
Boom.
That's it.
That's all you have to do.
Yeah.
So if you've been a victim of it, don't hesitate to speak out, speak up, and find someone who you can trust, confide in, and say, this has happened to me. And call these people by their name. Brother so-and-so, elder so-and-so did this to me because something has to change.
Always remember God restores. So if you've been through that, God restores. There's also help. We always emphasize on our channel how important therapy is. Seek help.
Yes.
Seek counseling to help you, get over this obstacle. Okay, so we hope that you've enjoyed this topic. I know it wasn't easy, but we pray that someone was encouraged and that, you'll be able to overcome whatever challenges that you are going through right now.
And we can't leave without letting you know that you are blessed and highly favored. Guys, we will see y'all in the next video.